Today on Softball 360, the Long Haul Bombers take the roof off at Minute Maid Park as Marin and Reebok battle to earn a spot in the finals of the Statidum Power Tour. We'll look back at a half-century of softball at the Fireman's, a tournament staged for charity, but with plenty of fun and games. Go one-on-one with Miken's Denny Grand Slam Crine as we break down the classic Crine swing and Denny's softball mentor, whose story will inspire. Houston, we do not have a problem. Softball 360 starts right now. Only show dedicated to the sport of softball. Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to Softball 360, North America's biggest and best show and website dedicated to the sport of softball. I'm Dave Benz. She, of course, is Timi Leighton.
Today we're celebrating the summer full of softball. We're here in Bloomington, Minnesota at the Fireman Tournament, which has been carrying on a tradition of softball for 55 years.
It is quite a tournament, and we're also going to cover the, well, home run derby that is unlike anything else you've ever seen. The Long Haul Bombers continue their summer of softball, and this week they head to Houston. Here's a preview. Dateline, Houston, Texas, host city to round 7 on the Statidum Power Tour. Minute Maid Park has been the Astros' home since 2000, and a rollaway roof is the solution to Houston's legendary hot, swampy weather. Locals call Minute Maid Park the Juice Box. It was built on the site of Houston's Union Depot. The old train station has been smartly worked into the design, locomotive and all, with a full load of oranges. 42,000 fans can squeeze in and watch highlights on El Grande, the third largest jumbotron in the majors. Talk about sports history. In merely a decade, the Juice Box has already hosted an All-Star game and the 2005 World Series.
I just snuck a peek at the ballpark. That thing is amazing. I hadn't really paid attention to any Astro games, but this place is a great-looking ballpark.
Make no mistake, the park is big, even by Texas standards. At 437 feet to straightaway center, it's the biggest in the bigs, with quirky designs that ballpark geeks will appreciate.
Yeah, it's very big to center, right center, so we need to make sure that we're pulling balls to the left side since we're all righties.
A home run pump records every homer hit and reflects Houston's oil and gas roots. At the autograph session, the Bombers receive a Texas-style welcome from softballers, kids, even cowboys. Yeah! As showtime approaches, time to get loose in the Stars dressing room.
Where's my Veda at, fellas?
Little short porch out there. Hopefully I can pull the ball down the line. Got about 12 or 13 of these things out here.
Proper bat prep is critical, as is getting a grip. Team Marin borrowed some pine tar from the Astros. Take our word for it. Pungent is the best way to describe this smell. Woo! On to the field for round 7 of the Statidum Power Tour, and only 6 Long Haul Bombers can advance to the finals. Both Marin and Reebok need big hits tonight.
Each swing is critical. I mean, you only get 15 a night. If you don't put your best 15 on it, then you're not going to be at the finals when it comes down to it.
The Bombers are ready to take the roof off, prepare for some massive show bombs, and a spectacular night at the park. All right, folks, stick around. We are just getting started.
More Softball 360 straight ahead.
When Softball 360 returns, take a trip in the time machine as we celebrate 55 years at the Fireman's Tournament. Miken's Denny Crine shares why he supports the Fallen, a group of injured military vets who inspire on and off the field. Reebok and Marin are ready to put a squeeze on the Juice Box in Houston. Each swing is important. But first, today's Power Tour Power Question. What's playing on the Stadium Power Tour Song of Summer?
My iPod right now is Randy Houser's How Country Feels.
Pantera, Five Finger Death Punch, Mudvayne.
Swedish House Mafia. Fist pumping music. Just like Jersey Shore.
I listen to Pandora, and 90% of the time I'm listening to Lil Wayne.
I have everything, rap, country, but right now I'm a country phase.
Skrillex, club, DJ mixes.
Right now, I think there's some Jason Aldean and Brantley Gilbert on there.
I don't know about all that.
What Power Tour Power Questions do you have? Send yours to us at powertourquestions@softball360.com.
Softball 360 is brought to you by Easton Sports. There is a difference, and the difference is Easton. By Miken Sports, elite equipment for the elite player. Miken Sports. By bpathletics.com. When you want the best in quality, service, and price, log on to bpathletics.com. And by softballcenter.com, the site for major softball news.
Welcome back to Softball 360, everybody. I am Timi Leighton with my host, Dave Benz. We are here at the Fireman Tournament located in Bloomington, Minnesota, just 1 mile from the Mall of America, but the epicenter of softball.
Yeah, the Fireman's is softball. This tournament has been going on now for 55 years. Hard to believe. Anybody who knows anything about softball knows about this event. Let's take a look. Summertime softball, and it's red hot at the Fireman's. But this tournament is not an overnight success. The Fireman's has been a half-century in the making. Back in the day, gas was 31 cents a gallon. A kid named Elvis was climbing the charts, and the largest softball tournament in Minnesota was born. At the Fireman's today, folks are celebrating 55 years of great softball, and they do it all for the community.
It's just a fun time to come out. It's like a carnival mixed with softball. Basically, everybody out here loves softball, loves to watch it. Everybody wants to be part of the game, whether they're just here watching with their families, they're here with their friends, came out here to have a couple beers. But I mean, they're out here having fun.
Fireman's is a great atmosphere. I love the field. Always great fans, great food. It's probably the best tournament in Minnesota.
The man behind the Fireman's is Jeff Barnesy Barnes. His hard work ensures the tournament is knocked out of the park.
Well, Jeff Barnes is the guy that orchestrates the whole thing. He's the guy that knows everyone and everything about softball. He arranges somehow to get 330 softball games in a 24 or 48-hour time frame.
What we do is we've got 18 groups that come out here, about 350 volunteers. They help me set up the tent. They man all the food. We're here 24 hours a day between cleaning the tent, dragging the fields, and it's a lot of work by all these volunteers.
Each year, the tourney continues to grow, with more teams and spectators filling the fields at Valley View Park.
30,000 people visit Bloomington to watch the tournament. It's transcended just being softball. It's about people in Bloomington and the Bloomington area and getting together and having a beer and watching some softball.
The tournament was full on March 1st, and I've got 15, 20 teams on the waiting list. We're still waiting to play. We just don't have the room.
Here's to 55 years at the Fireman's. A great foundation has been set under the big water tower in Bloomington.
It's like a small hometown picnic in a big city.
It's a party with softball occurring in the middle of it.
There you guys have it, a look at the Fireman's Tournament, and every year they seem to get bigger and better. And this year they added an exciting event, a wrestling rink in the middle of all the fields.
Yeah, it was quite a spectacle over there, and you know, the wrestlers, they weren't looking at you, so don't worry about that. Not at all. Let's talk a little bit about another big event coming up in Minnesota. It's going to be at St. Paul's Midway Stadium in August. The ASA Super National, a national champion will be crowned. The ASA Super National is coming to St. Paul's Midway Stadium. The best softball teams from across the nation battle to be the ASA National Champion before the Saints game. On Friday night, check out the finals of the Stadium Power Tour with the world's greatest softball home run hitters, the Long Haul Bombers. Massive homers, a Saints game, a fireworks show, and an ASA National Championship. For tickets, log on to saintsbaseball.com. And of course, Timmy and I will be part of the festivities at St. Paul Stadium. You can check out more information online right now at Softball360. We are taking a time out, but still plenty more ahead. Stick around. We'll take you back to Houston for the Long Haul Bombers trip to Minute Maid Park when we continue here on Softball360.
Welcome back to Softball 360, everybody. Today we are enjoying the weather at the Fireman's Tourney, but don't forget we're also the home of the Stadium Power Tour and the world's greatest home run hitters.
Yeah, the Long Haul Bombers, they've been making their way across America, trying to find another champion as they have for the last several years. And of course, by now you've seen the home runs, you know the power, but do you know the men? We like to introduce you to some of the members of the Long Haul Bombers. This week we put the spotlight on two-time champion Denny Crine. Say hello to Denny Grand Slam Crine. At 6'7", nearly 300 pounds, the big man for Miken has what it takes to get to the top. DC blasted his way twice to a Stadium Power Tour championship and is the first athlete to have a signature Miken bat, the DC 41 Super Max.
With the engineers putting together new bats all the time, it's you know, we got a whole new product line out. We're introducing a two-piece this year on the ASA and U-Trip level. It's a great bat.
DC earned his reputation with a classic smooth swing. Take a look at the DC swing in slow-mo to examine the technique. Earlier in his career, Denny played for the Chicago White Sox until an injury sent him to the dugout. Today, players on the Power Tour are quick to give DC props on his play.
Denny is just the epitome of ease and consistency. If you took 15, watch him take 15 swings, you couldn't tell one from 15 because they all look exactly the same.
His swing is effortless, and because of his smooth swing is why he continues to day in and day out put up the numbers that he does.
He gets the most out of his body as far as the leverage, the power, the controlled swing. It's fun to watch when he's on it.
Denny is also one of the founding members of the Fallen, an all-star softball team that honors injured military veterans. One member of the Fallen is Len Anderson. Len served in Afghanistan, and while on patrol for bombs, Len and his K9 ran into a series of IEDs.
You know, I was over doing combat patrols with some of the infantry guys, and, you know, I had a bad day. We found what we were looking for, but it went off before we could react to it. So, you know, it's one of the things that comes with the job, comes with the territory, so you just gotta adapt and overcome.
He almost lost his life, but in the process, did lose an arm. While Len has become an inspiration to many, he gets plenty of support from Denny, who pushes Len to be his best, and in return, Len provides motivation for others.
You know, he's quickly worked his way back to where he's going to be involved in softball, you know, for the rest of his life through prosthetics.
Basically back to basics, just like you were a kid learning how to play ball again. Follow the ball completely into the glove, bring the glove to here, you know, to your chest, reach out and go.
After several surgeries, much rehab, and plenty of soul searching, Len is back where he belongs.
Anytime you see him, you know, out there with the prosthetic, catching balls, catching ground balls, anytime you go to complain about something, it kind of says, you know, it could be worse.
They push you, they don't treat you any different. Hey, if you're gonna ball, you're gonna ball. So come out here ready to play. And that's what I like. I don't want to be treated any different. I want to come out here and play ball.
and every day he provides a classy example of what can be accomplished by never giving up.
We have more ahead coming your way on Softball 360.
Do you have a team action picture or cool softball video? Send it to us at softball360.com and we'll post it to the world. Your team should make plans now for the WSL Worth North American Championships in Panama City Beach, Florida in September. Great games and big prizes at Frank Brown Field. All the details are online at Softball 360. But first, the Long Haul Bombers roll the roof off in Houston as Team Miken and Reebok are set for a slugfest, and a spot in the finals is on the line.
Softball 360 is brought to you by Miken. Upgrade your game with the Miken CL22. By Evil Sports. The best softball on the planet is evil. EvilSports.com. By Reebok. Check out the Reebok 2013 Barrage at suncoastsports.net. And by the WSL. Play the next level. The WSL Worth North American Championship Series.
Welcome back to Softball 360, everybody. Dave Benz hanging out with Timi Leighton. And Timi, we are not only focused on the Fireman's Tournament, which is where we are emanating from this week in Bloomington, Minnesota. We're also thinking about what transpired down in Houston at Minute Maid Park.
Team Miken and Reebok were ready to hit some bombs.
Time for the big show. Reebok and Miken at Minute Maid Park in Houston. The rules of the Stadium Power Tour are quite simple. Each player gets 15 swings. Each home run is worth 1 point, except for the last pitch, known as the money ball, which is worth 2 points and could be the tiebreaker. Let the home run show begin. Chris the Crusher Larson starts the show for Team Miken. Larson has the classic swing to send softball souvenirs deep in the yard with a whip-like swing. Chris is one of the youngest players on the tour and has already claimed a championship. Not only is Chris a professional softball player, but he also works for Miken and Wilson Sporting Goods, designing, what else? Softball bats. All of a sudden, Larson drops the hammer and bang, zoom! Larson sends out a shot that keeps going and going and going. Gadzooks, it has completely left the park. What a show Larson is putting on for the Houston fans. Larson has hit 6 in a row, and now it's time for the money ball. And you can take it to the Houston Bank and Trust. Larson leads off with 12 big points, and the softball world is on red alert. Stepping up to the plate, Donovan Debo Pokraka for Team Miken. While Debo is a rookie, don't expect any jitters at the plate. Jam shot all the way to downtown. And Houston, it's game on, people. But wait, there's more, as another softball is sent deep into the yard. Now the money ball. Debo can take the lead with this swing, and oh no, Debo, not today. Debo has tied Larson with 12 points, and what a show so far. At 6'6" and close to 300 pounds, Reebok's Chris G-Man Greinert is one tough customer at the plate and big enough to scare away a burglar. Big Bad Chris swings a Reebok Barrage, and does it ever explode with power? The two-piece bat design is what Chris craves. G-Man is simply crushing the ball. Man, oh man, talk about a bombshell. The evil softballs are gonzo. That is headed all the way to Galveston Bay. Get out of here, ball. G-Man ends the day with a solid 8 points, just enough to keep Reebok in the hunt for the Manufacturers Cup. Here comes Adam Rockoff, known as A-Rock for Team Miken. A-Rock has the power and technique to keep his softball party rocking. He swings it like he means it. Check out some of his credits. Winner of the Silver Slugger Award, a 7-time ASA All-Conference selection. Now A-Rock and his Miken bat are in the groove. Simply an amazing night at the park as one after another is going downtown. Holy home runs, Batman. That evil softball is headed towards Astros owner Drayton McLean's corner office. Rock has 10 points, and on the money ball, he can tie it up. And here we go. Yes, and it counts. 12 points, and Team DeMarini ends up in a three-way tie. Larson, Devo, and A-Rock are on top with 12 points apiece.
I mean, I got lucky enough to get one all the way up out of here. Goosebumps. I had to take a minute, kind of reset, because that was pretty cool.
Team DeMarini's coming back.
Team DeMarini's making moves.
So DeMarini takes the roof off at Minute Maid Park. Here are your final stats and standings from Houston. For team and individual standings, log on to Softball360.com. So quite a show there in Houston, and the championship race is starting to get tight as the events are dwindling.
Now remember, only 6 long-haul bombers can qualify for the finals, so be sure to check out the standings online at Softball360.com.
And that just about does it for this edition of Softball 360 from the Fireman Tournament here in Bloomington, Minnesota. Remember, as Timmy mentioned, you can find out more about Softball 360 online anytime at Softball360.com.
And Dave, as I like to say, why don't we get out to the park and play ball?
Next week on Softball 360, a big show in Seattle at Safe Cove Field. Easton and Miken square off for a championship. And we'll hang out in the Northwoods with Team DeMarini's Chris Larson and Bubba Brungart. New bats and a whole lot more. Those stories and more next week on Softball 360.